Hey, Emery. Thanks
How you
for
doing?
a couple of minutes. Good, and hope you are. We will begin with Isaiah Lucas. Go ahead.
Hey, Ray. In the past, coaches have labeled you as a very technically sound, well-rounded wide receiver. Could you detail what goes into the work that you've put in to be good at everything that the position requires?
For the most part, I just try to keep my head down and work. I know we talk about being on time. They like guys who being on time, stay on top of their work, on and off the field. So I just try to model myself as that type of guy. Come out to work every day, handle my business in the classroom, handle my business on the field, and then put in the extra work when I got the time to. And then I just try to keep doing that every day and let them days stack up. And then it just shows up on the field.
All right. And what's the transition been like from being behind the veterans in the receiving room to becoming one of the veterans in the receiving room?
The transition been going smooth. I always kind of thought of myself as a veteran, even as a young guy, just because I came in early and them guys kind of took me under their wing, and I always hung around the older guys as I came in. So even now, it's normal at this point. Like, but it's funny seeing guys who like that's freshmen and sophomores now, and they're looking at me like I'm an old head, what we call ourselves here, and it's like, well, I mean, technically I ain't. I just got like really, I feel like I just got here still, but you know, it's good to like be a mentor to those guys and take them under my wing and show them the right way of how to work in practice, how to work off the field, and all those such things.
Okay, let's go over to Andrew Jones.
Hey, Emery, Jacarius just told us that they would joke with you, I guess, last year about being slow, but now they don't joke with you about that you've improved your speed. Can you take us through that process?
Well, it's not even last year, it's still now. But guys kind of joke they kind of joke with me about being slow. Cause I mean, we of course we have guys like Josh Downs and Antoine Green, Trey Morris, and Colin and Michael Storm, those guys. So we all know they can move pretty well. But it's always been the case like Emery just you think you fast, don't you? I'm like, I've never been slow. It's nothing about me that's never been slow. So the last couple of practices I've been on the like GPS I've been number one on the board like the last 4 or 5 days. I've been clocking over 21 miles an hour. But I think that's like kind of been a part of like my summer regimen, like how we've been doing it with our strength and conditioning. I know I had got up to like 205, and that's the heaviest I've ever been playing football. And with now coming back into camp, my goal was to be 200, 205 coming into camp, and then drop back down during camp. So when I do get to run, I'm a little bit, I know how to move with that weight, but now I'm back at my regular weight with like 190, and now I'm flying past everybody. So now it kind of feels good that everybody kind of leave me alone now about joking with my speed.
He also said you're the guy that they're going to throw over the top. You're going to go to the top of the defense. So what's one of the keys about being able to get off your break and get past the defense, to be able to go over the top of the defense to get an advantage on the corner that's covering you? What is the essential key other than speed?
I try to be as much as a technician at the line of scrimmage. That's the key part of winning the deep balls. Just making sure you can work your footwork off the line and get past and have strong hands to get past the DB. But I think now I'm starting to build up that confidence more so like how I did in high school. I think everything now is starting to turn back into high school for me. Like I have that confidence like I did in high school. So I feel like nobody can stay with me when running.
Does confidence make you quicker?
Yes and no. Like so confident. Like, I'll take the confidence as I built that more so last year, but now I know what I could do now with me being an older guy and what the type of work I've been putting in. I feel like now nobody can stay with me, and it just rolls into practice, and now it's sort of starting to show up through practice.
Good stuff. Thanks, man.
No problem.
Michael Coe, go ahead.
Hey, Emery, I noticed last week on the first day of practice, you were going against Tony Grimes a lot in some of the 11-on-11 drills. What has that matchup been like just early on in the season, since both of y'all are so talented?
It's been great. Tony Me and Tony get along very well during practice. We always helping each other. I'm asking him what coverages they in during scaling a team, and he'll ask like what I'm looking for on my routes and stuff, and I'll tell him. So we help each other out during practice all the time. When he's down, I'll pick him up. When I'm down, he'll pick me up, and I know just every day, me and him gonna get the best. We're gonna get the best out of each other every day, and I love him for it because we gonna work, and it's making him better, it's making me better, and I know when it comes to the first game against VTech, we'll both be ready.
Thank you.
CL Brown.
Hey, Emery, what's Ty Chandler's presence been like in the huddle?
Ty is a very quiet, soft-spoken person. He kind of reminds me of me, or in the running back room, he reminds me of Javante. He's just quiet. He keeps his head down. He works, and that's it. He's a jokester. He's like a quiet, funny guy. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like his jokes is like subtle, but it's funny, if that makes sense. So I enjoy being around Ty. I hang around him a lot outside of football. So I enjoy him.
And I was curious, the coaches poll just got released today. You guys are number 9. Wanted to get your thoughts on, I mean, was that the expectation? Are you, does it matter at all? Did you kind of learn your lesson from last year and getting up to number 5? Like, what are your thoughts on the ranking?
I know for me personally, I don't try to pay as much attention to the rankings just because I just want to focus on football. I want to focus on our team and just work and develop ourselves. And as a team get better, I know that we got the talent to be in the top 10. I know we should be in the top 10 or higher, but I just think our main focus now is that we got so many non-believers that don't believe in us, like that we shouldn't be there, or it's like a if factor with us. And I think with us as a team, we know that there's an if factor with other people on like social media and everything like that. So we're just trying to keep our head down and work. And with camp, these last couple of days of camp is showing the competitiveness is there, the hard work is showing up, and everybody is working hard and just trying to prove that we could be one of those top contenders in the college football playoffs.
Thanks.
Greg Barnes, go ahead.
Emery, I wanted to circle back to Isaiah's first question about you being technically and fundamentally sound. At what point in your life did that become your thing? I mean, are we talking like you're always that way? Did it click for you at some point?
I would say it clicked for me midway through my freshman year in college. I know in high school, it was more so I was just more so an athletic guy who was still fresh to the wide receiver position. And I just had to develop into being a technician. Like I said, I know I've always kind of been, the last 2 years, kind of been in the shadow behind Diami, Daz, Bo, and that nature, with just being not the fastest, not the strongest, but I'm always consistent, and I'm always a technician, and I pride myself on that. But now it's time I want to show people that I'm fast. I want to show people that I got a little bit of strength to myself. And I think now it's that time to kind of step into that role and show that I could be more than just a technician, even though that's great. I just like to have more of an all-around fact. Like, he's fast, like, wow, look at him, he's done got faster, he's done got stronger. And I think that goal, I'm starting to reach that goal more and more each and every day.
Thank you.
Brendan Marks, go ahead.
Hey, Emery. Yeah, you mentioned, past couple of years, obviously there were some really talented guys ahead of you who aren't there anymore. How has your chemistry developed with Sam this offseason? How have you guys gotten closer, gotten on the same page? How has that evolved really since the spring, coming into camp and going into the season?
I think now it's gotten way better than it was in camp. I know camp, it was still kind of fresh just because those guys had just left. But I think now it's starting to click even more and more. Like I said, me and Sam been close since high school, going to camps with each other, even playing in the Shrine Bowl with each other. That was my former roommate. I just recently moved out from the house, but me and him still, we link up outside of our workout times, late at night, come in here, throw in the indoor. And I think now he's starting to build more trust in me, and we're better off of last season. And I think now it's starting to click even more.
Thank you.
All right, last one for Emery comes from Adam Smith.
Emery, hey, just going back to you working on your speed, obviously you want to improve yourself as a player and develop and be the best you can be. But on any certain level, is some of the motivation there to shut some of those guys up that are calling you slow? I mean, is that any sort of factor?
It is. I know it's all out of love with the guys on my team, but deep down at the same time, it hurts just a little bit. Just know that your teammates think you're slow. But I think for me, it was just more so a personal thing. Like, okay, maybe it is like, okay, you might be a little, you ain't slow, but it might be something you might want to work on a little bit more. So that's why I said during this summer period, this summer workout sessions, my goal was to put on more weight, run with that heavier weight, see how I feel, get accustomed to it, and then drop back down and see where we go from there. And luckily it worked out. Now I'm blazing fast.
Have you gone scoreboard on those guys to like the last couple of days when you said you hit the highest GPS mark?
Every day I walk in, every morning, the only thing I do is walk in, I look at them, and I point at the big screen in the indoor. That's it. That's all I do. And they'll just say, "Oh, you think you fast?" I'm like, "I know I'm fast. Look at the board. Is your name up there?" That's all. And after that, I just walk off and go into practice.
Enough said.
Yep.
All right,
Thank
Emery.
you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.